So, Doll's Nest here again to bring you yet another case of inspirational women from Keighley and the surrounding areas. This time we'll be talking about the very inspirational and influential Bronte sisters. We can't talk about historical women without talking about the Bronte sisters around these parts. The Bronte sisters were composed of Anne, Emily and Charlotte. Anne, Emily and Charlotte Bronte were sisters whose novels have become quite famous throughout the world and history. Charlotte, born on the 21st of April 1816, Emily was born on the 30th of July 1818, and Anne, born on the 17th of January 1820. They had two sisters who both died at a very young age, and also a brother named Branwell. Their father was a clergyman who was appointed pastor in Haworth village, and they all had different educations growing up, going to different schools. Their mother died when they were very young, and after that point their Auntie Elizabeth came and stayed with them to look after the family. Bronte children were often left alone together in their family home, and that is when their careers as early budding writers began. All three sisters at various times were hired as teachers and governesses. In 1842, Emily and Charlotte went to Brussels to improve their French, but had to return home early after their Aunt Elizabeth's death. Between 1843 and 1844, Charlotte returned to Brussels to resume her position as an English teacher. But by 1845, the family were back together in Haworth, and by this point their brother Branwell had picked up a drinking and drug addiction. Though they cared very deeply for their brother Branwell, he was a constant thorn in their side due to his drinking and possible opiate addiction. And in May 1946, the sisters published their own expense volumes of poetry under their pseudonyms. Anne's Agnes Grey and Charlotte's Jane Eyre were published in 1847. Jane Eyre's was one of the year's best sellers, and second novel, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and Emily's Wuthering Heights were both published in 1848. The Tenant sold well, but Wuthering Heights did not, and now it is probably one of the best books throughout history, in my humble opinion. Branwell died of tuberculosis in September 1848, whereas Emily died of the same disease on 19th December 1848, and Anne on 28th of May 1849. Left alone with her father once again, Charlotte continued to write, but she was by now a well-known author and visited London many a times. Shirley was published in 1849 and Villette in 1853. In 1854, Charlotte married her father's curate, Arthur Nichols, and died, unfortunately, of tuberculosis on 31st of March 1855. Now, I can speak for everybody when I say that the Bronte sisters really put Keighley on the map, and it's because of these that we have visitors from around the world coming to our humble, tiny little town in West Yorkshire. And I can truly say that I am proud that this is part of our culture and heritage. As always, I've been Doll's Nest. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!